we're going to race that. Welcome to this episode of Heartbreak Garage, and it's gone dark because I've been working and it's late, but I've got this little Honda I need to put a clutch in and do the rear sprocket, the front sprocket and the chain, so you're going to come along with me for all the entertainment and the fun of it. So what have we got here? We've got an 09 Honda CBR125R, and it's quite a nice little bike, but it needs a bit of love. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to drop the oil in it, we're going to change the clutch because we've got a new EVC clutch with new springs and bits and bobs, and we're going to get it done. I know you've seen me do clutches with bikes before, but we're going to do it again because I need some content to put on my channel because I'm running out. So here we go. It's got a Black Widow exhaust on, which I quite like, and it sounds a bit meaty. So let's get it done. So first of all, we're going to start by pulling the plastics off. I have excuse the scaffolding. It's all going on everywhere because we've had the builders in doing things. I've arranged some tools here: socket set, impact gun, drill, socket, spanners, bits and bobs, and we'll get them. And I've got my Screwfix 8-pound light. So we're all going to be gravy. So if it don't fit, don't force it. Best not to get any shadows. So first, I'm not doing a very good job, but hold on. Let me have a look at this situation. Right, so first of all we're going to get this screw and this screw. Just to expose the output shaft and the output gear. And there it is, and what we've got is two 10mm, and that plate twists exactly the same as a C90, very straightforward. So let me go and get a 10mm. I'm hoping they're not going to be over tightened. That's good. Oh, beautiful. And I'm just holding the back wheel so it doesn't spin on me, just so I can crack them loose, and we'll just chuck them in there. All this will be good for cleaning afterwards. So now we can just turn that and pop it out like that. There she is, looking good. Hopefully, it's not seized on there. Perfect. Happy days. Right, moving to the back wheel now. So at the back wheel we're just going to undo the spindle. So let's get the light. Some light on the situation. Lovely weather. So we're on a 19 and a 14, 19 on the nut end, 14 on the spindle end, and we're just going to wind it off. Perfect. And we'll pull it out. Fresh grease for everything when it goes back together, I think. Looks like it wants it. Right. We're going to strip that caliper. That shouldn't have been that tight to come out, but it was. So we're going to check that. We'll pop our spindle back free as soon as we don't lose all the bits. Keep them in there. Put that on there. Don't forget our little plate as well, and put the nut on. Good stuff. Now we'll just get our chain off. There we go. Right, so with that out of the way, I'm trying to do this in as little takes as possible so you get the feel of how long it's actually taken. So we can now just move the chain out the way and slide the front sprocket off, which we're having a new one of those. Perfect. And then we'll just we'll cut this chain. It's totally had it, it's knackered, but see how that link's all kinked like that. It's full of those. It's just not good at all. So, but I'm gonna have to strip that caliper to free that off to make sure it's cool. But now that's done, I'll just take the spindle, the sprocket off the back of that wheel, and I'll bring you back shortly. The back wheel, the chain and the sprocket off now, so I can match them up. I need to get that screw out, and whatever's underneath, and then drain the oil, and then I'm going to leave it drain overnight whilst and then tomorrow I can put the clutch in it. Yeah, we're going to have to get new fixings for this. It's not great. Okay, there's a screw in there. Right, that's that one off. We'll take the other side off for ease. I think we'll take that side off. They're going to need all new screws anyway, they're all buggered. Well, actually, we'll leave the other side on. We'll leave the other side on because we don't need to take it off, and then if we need to take it off, we can take it off. But I'll probably put new screws in it. But the engine looks pretty good, in all fairness. No major water leaks or anything, which is nice. So we'll drain the coolant and the oil, and then we're all gravy. So let me just get my little tray, and we'll start by draining the oil. Shall we? Or shall we drain the coolant, or shall we drain the oil? This bottom bolt in the water pump housing will allow us to drain the oil neatly without it going everywhere. The water, not the oil. What am I on about? That's tight. That's not very good. Oh, we'll take some pipes off and see what happens. Is there any water in there? Let's get these pipes off. Did I splash it? Oh. Right. Good. Use a bit of a screwdriver to go behind the edge of the pipe there to just break it loose, because they get really tight on these things do. So we'll do that, and then we can take that one off. And we can use that lever point there to just pull that one off. There we go, we are all coolanted out. So with that done, I'll get rid of this into my reservoir that I take to the skip. And now we'll just drop the oil on it. So, 17 for the sump plug, and out it comes. And we'll let this drain overnight, so we don't make a horrible mess tomorrow. It's well cold out here. There we go. So we'll leave that drain overnight now. We'll stick him back in loosely, and that'll be ready for us tomorrow after I finish my shift. Ready to go. Marvellous. Right, so if it don't fit, don't force it, and I'll see you tomorrow. Now another day in Heartbreak Garage, and we're going to start by backing off the adjuster on the clutch cable so we can take the tension off it, so we can get it off easier at the engine end. To take the clutch cable off, to get the casing off, to get the clutch out. So there's the lever arm where the clutch goes in, and now it's nice and released. I can hopefully get it off without too much trouble. He says, come on now. There we go. Right, that's nice and off, and now we can just take the pipes off. Well, we haven't got any pipes, we've got the water pipes off. We're going to take the casing off and get to the clutch. Right, so we'll crack all the 8mm off. And some people like to put them in a cardboard template to locate them back in the correct position, but I never bother with that. It's only if you're going to forget or whatever. That's all off. Now I need to get something to give it a tap. Hopefully it just pops off back in a second. So I've got myself a reasonably sized hammer. I'm just going to give it a tap. See if we can. Oops. Lost a screw there. Where did that go? Right, I'm back with a rag. So let's just take the water pump off and have a look anyway. See what it's like. Really good. Really good. Nice and clean. We can give that a clean. Keep them in order. Oh yeah, that's marvellous. Right, anyway, back to the job at hand. We need to tap this casing again. So let's just do it. Come on, casing. There we go. Now she's coming. Off you go. Stay in there, bolts. Nice and gentle with the big hammer, but it's all I've got with me. There we go. Right, so casing's off, and now we can just flip it over and check the drive gear for the water pump, which looks beautiful. There's no problem there. So all that's going to need is a new gasket for that. Let's have a quick look in here. While we're in here, we'll pull out the gauze, get a pair of pliers. So let's pull out the gauze. Very clean, that's lovely. Nothing to worry about there. Okay. Oops. Inside there is our little plunger that operates the clutch perfectly, so that's cool. Yeah, that's all good. Here's our clutch, 410mm. There's the release bearing that plunger operates on. Yep, everything looks perfect in it. So let's get it off. 10mm to get this off. We'll release them off nice and evenly. Three, four, there we go. There's the springs, there's a nut that locks it in position, so I'm going to get my impact gun, and I've got a special Honda socket to go on there that I got off Amazon ages ago for the race bike. It was nice and cheap, so don't be hammering and chiseling them, use the proper tool supplied. Right, so I'm back. I've got my special tool, 2 different sizes, but this is the size we want. Fits in the cutouts on there, and we need to put an extension bar. I've chosen an extension bar this long because it's the only one I can find right now, because I seem to have misplaced everything. And I'll just get my impact gun on it, and Christ, that's tight. That's tighter than I thought it would be. Alright then. Jesus. Not ideal really. Let's try and just we got it. That's the one. So now we can take that off, like so. Take the washer off, like so, and pull the clutch pack off. Right, so make sure, yep, that's cool. That little doodah, you got to be careful. There's a little doodah on a washer that stays on there, or sometimes it comes with the clutch pack, and you don't want to be losing it or dropping it on the floor. So now I've got all the bits in my nice tray. We're going to take them back in the house. So that's to my kitchen, and here we have the clutch in question, but we've got some new bits. So I've got, yeah, I'm in the shadow. I've got the new clutch soaking in oil there. I've got a new oil ready to go in. I've got an engine gas cover gasket. I've got a new chain. I've got clutch springs. I've got the steel plates as well as friction plates, and I've got front and rear sprockets. And due to the fact I've got a fantastic wife, she lets me do this kind of thing in the kitchen amongst the apples and the what are they, kiwis and stuff, and she's really good like that. So thanks very much, Mrs. Black Hands. But anyway, we need to get this clutch apart and get it all separated so we can build it up with the new parts. Right, so here we go. Let's just get a bit of organisation. So we've got our release bearing, which feels perfect. I like these trays because it keeps everything contained and doesn't roll away. Got our washer and our nut to get it back on with, and we're just going to pull the top part of the clutch off. So let's get that off, and there it is, and we can observe it looks really good condition, so that's nice. So let's have a look now. Let's unstack these plates. So we've got the top plate, and we can see how black that is and discoloured. Yeah, it's got a blue sheen to it, which is not good at all. So, right. So, come on fingers. Yeah, that's the same. Yeah, smells quite burnt as well. Yeah, yeah. And then just get that last one out. And there we go. So there is our clutch pack, consisting of our friction plates and our steel plates. So yeah, marvellous. So first we're going to make sure everything looks as similarist, and it does look good. And we're going to have a look at our and they look the same. No, they're different. So they are not the same. Great. That's a problem. The friction plates are the same. Yep, they're the same, and these are an EVC one. You can see how much more materials on them. But they are far from the same. That is not great at all. So such is life, we've got it stripped, and let me show you. The friction plates are correct, but these plates, which are the steel plates, which that one is very blue and it's been overheated, these are the replacements we've got, and you can see the difference between not only the circumference of the internal diameter, but the size of the teeth that it needs to mesh to. So that needs to mesh to the outer basket, and the inner basket, sorry, and it's not going to, because those teeth are completely wrong and the plates are the wrong size. So so that's going to put the brakes on the proceedings for this evening. Don't tell my wife I'm using her microfiber rags as cloths as rags. But everything else is correct, but for some reason we've just got the wrong steel plates that go in between the friction plates. So I'll have to find some of those. So hopefully, well, I got the chain and the sprockets and bits and bobs from M&M Motorcycles, Wrexham, and I believe the clutch came off eBay. So what I'm going to have to do is I'll phone M&M Motorcycles of Wrexham for all their motorcycling goodness, and probably get the right stuff tomorrow, and then I can get it back together and get it off my wife's kitchen table, which will probably make her really happy. So if it don't fit, don't force it, scuppered again. Nightmare.